Welcome back, guys. It's Arcus here, and this time we're gonna do a review of Solo, a Star Wars story. So, if you don't know, this is the origin story of Han Solo from the Star Wars saga. And yes, this movie, when I first went to the theaters, I was a bit confused how it was time-wise, in the timeline between the older movies, but now that I finally figured it out, so it takes place before the original trilogy, which is the fourth, fifth, and sixth one now. So it takes place before those, but after the first. I believe it's after the first movie, yeah, because there's some huge things that happen in the end that, you know, I believe that they wanted to continue with this story moving forward, because that's sort of the way they ended it. But seeing as how it got, some mixed critics, I'm not sure they're gonna continue doing it. So they might put it on hold for a while and, focus more on the ninth installment of the Star Wars saga, which is coming out, I believe, next year, if I'm guessing right. Alright, so either way, a bit more of the story here. So it centers around young Han Solo, and at first he's on this planet. I'm so bad with names, sorry, I already forgot it. But he's on this planet, and it's sort of a slavery planet, if you would call it, because he's a slave at first. And then he meets this woman called Kira, which is portrayed by Emilia Clarke. So every time I see her, I just see Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. It's so hard to imagine her in the Star Wars universe. I mean, every time it just messes everything up for me. So it's quite weird seeing her in other roles, but she's an actress, and yes, she's good and all that, but it's still just so weird because every time you see her, you associate her with Game of Thrones. But either way, so they meet on this planet, and they decide they're gonna run away together and be free and all that. So they decide to do that, but some things happen. I'm not gonna spoil too much of this movie if you haven't watched it already. Some things happen, and she gets left behind, and so Solo moves. So Solo, yeah, I'm gonna call him that, or Han, whatever you wanna call him, because oh yeah, I should also mention in the beginning, he's also only called Han. He doesn't have a last name, because Solo is a given name to him that he adopted himself, since he doesn't know who his parents are or anything like that. So either way, after that, he goes into the he's trying to get off the planet, but he can't do it as a civil, so he enlists in the Empire, the recruiting. So he goes out to fight a bunch of battles and so forth for the Empire, which is quite funny to see actually, because you wouldn't expect that from the way that he is in the other movies. So either way, he goes on the battlefield, and in one of the battlefields he sort of misbehaves, and he doesn't want to be there fighting for the Empire anymore, because he doesn't believe they are good. The cause they are making is good. So he decides to get away, but he gets caught, and then he gets thrown into this pit of some sort in under the ground, with bars in the ceiling and so forth. And they say they're gonna feed into the monster. And this is where it's so cleverly made, because this is where he first meets Chewbacca. And I was actually I was excited when I got to see the movie, just to know how they sort of met in the first place, because they're sort of this amazing duo in the other movies, so it'd be fun to know how they met in the first place. And their first encounter is kind of funny, because Chewbacca, he's sort of a savage in the beginning, and they're also treating him like that, which is not fairly at all. It's just that they don't understand Wookiee, and he has so long hair, and he just screams every time. So it's really funny when Han all of a sudden I don't know what the language is called that they speak, but the Wookiees. But either way, he knows a bit of it, so it sounds so funny when he's trying to communicate with him. Because he understands what he says, but it's basically just a bunch of random noise, really. So either way, that's where they meet, and then they team up with a bunch of other guys there that are scavengers, that are sort of stealing from the Empire, if you would call it. So either way, they flee together on a ship, and then that's that. And then a bunch of other stuff happens later. I'm not gonna explain the whole movie, because that would take forever. It's better if you go see it, because despite it not being one of the best movies that have come out, it's still a Star Wars movie, and I mean, I was gonna see it obviously, and I do definitely recommend you at least go see it once, just to form your own opinion about it. You know, in my personal opinion, it's not in the top 4, but it's still worth going to see, because you get a bit of the more origin explained, and after watching it you get more excited about watching the original trilogy again, because you have no more of a backstory, so you know why Han acts the way he does in certain situations and so forth. So, and if I decide to break it down a bit, you know, the actors in the movie are actually quite good. The actor that plays Han Solo, which I totally forgot his name, I'm just gonna Google that real quick. It's me again. I'm here to talk for a while the other one, you know, he searches through the web to find out things that he didn't, wasn't smart enough to sort out in the beginning before he started the recording. I don't know why he did it, I don't know why, so I'm just here, talking some time, filling the space, even though it probably won't mean anything too much. Not gonna say anything real or anything, just, you know, trying to keep it real, heavy fun, you know, drop a like if you like the video so far and so forth. I'm back. So Han Solo is portrayed by Alden Ehrenreich. I believe I'm saying his name right. I don't know if he's originally from another country or whatnot. It might be a weird. It's a weird last name either way to pronounce. So either way, he plays Han Solo, and then, as I mentioned before, Emilia Clarke plays the character Kira, and she does an amazing job as well. And then here comes the bit where Childish Gambino is in the movie. You know, Donald Glover, and he plays Lando Calrissian, and I thought they did a fine job of it, but after seeing, you know, This Is America, it's so hard to take him seriously in the role. I mean, I don't know what he's doing there in the first place, because he's sort of a singer, you know, so I don't know what actually he's doing as an actor in the movie, but I mean, he was okay to watch, and he did sort of do the role justice, but I mean, maybe it could maybe have been better with another actor, I don't know. But either way, so that's the main cast of the film. There's some other roles as well, but those 3 are the main characters, if you would say. And Chewbacca, of course, you know, but that's a given. So either way, the story, it's good. It's got a nice flow throughout the movie. It's never a moment that was dull for me, you know, that you just sit there and stare. There was always stuff happening, and I really liked the beginning of the movie because you was thrown right into the action. It was not one of those slow movies, you know, where they talked a lot and explained a lot in the beginning. So that was really good as well. However, some of the decisions, and I mean, some of the characters that were in it, they were not that great, I believed. Some were obviously better than other ones, but I sort of felt that it lacked a true villain, if you would call it, like the other movies have. Cause yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it too much, so I won't say what happens in the end, but in my own opinion, it lacked a bit of those, you know, villains that Star Wars are known for, to have, you know, the good versus evil, Jedi versus Sith, and that did not happen in this movie, because there are no Jedi in the entire movie, and there are no Siths as well. So yeah, down to my rating then. I guess I would rate it a 6 out of 10, perhaps, because it's still an enjoyable movie to go and watch, but it's not one of those movies that I would watch many times again. Maybe one more time just to know, see things that I missed the first time and so forth, but definitely not a movie I would watch too many times. But as always, that's just my own opinion. So either way, there you have it. As always, if you got any thoughts of your own or questions or anything you want me to review next, just drop a comment down below and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, bye.